You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 14th meeting for the LaPorte County Solid Waste District Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Call meeting to order of our January 14th Solid Waste District Board meeting. If you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Haney,
Present.
Commissioner Grammarosa, Mayor Dermody, Mayor Nelson Deitch, Commissioner Hollifield,
Present.
Councilman Molinaro, Councilman Preskowinski.
Here.
Guys have a quorum.
First item of business is to elect our chairperson. And according to our 2002 resolution by the board, we go on a rotating basis, and this year it rotates to the city of LaPorte. So I'll entertain a nomination for the city of LaPorte to assume leadership.
I nominate Mayor Tom Dermody for the city of LaPorte.
Second.
For president.
Any other nominations?
Is there any?
No, and you have to have 5 to override the resolution, so we don't even have 5 to override it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Turn it over to the chairperson for him to elect as vice chairman.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? And it is an honor to be back in this chair again. Is there a motion for vice chairman? That is open to anyone.
Anyone, yes.
Do I have a motion?
I nominate Commissioner Hollifield.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion, which there could be a lot of. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Steve?
Just like Kingsbury Kings a long time ago.
That's right. Minutes, district board meeting. Is there a motion for the December 10th, 2025?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Claims, January 26th.
Should I have all those in front of you by your name tags there is the January claims. The only thing unusual on those that we normally won't see on your claim docket is the claims for the fire at the compost site. We did receive our insurance check, so we put all the claims on the docket to be paid as claims.
So the fire claims are in here,
Yes, sir.
including the private business
Yes, sir.
And the county as well.
Yes, sir.
and the city?
Yes. I'm the only one who paid $10,000 to the city, so I don't know if you want to wait and go to $25,000 if you want.
No.
No, okay. Well, it's in, I didn't think you would, but it's in there.
Wait, but that 10,000's in there?
Yes, your whole $35,000 is in there.
Oh, okay.
Hey Clay, where exactly is that for the payments for the fire? In which packet here? We got 3 of them.
Well, 2 of those are your payroll.
Okay.
So the one that's noted on there, that's a claims docket, should be the one that's like $400 and some thousand.
There is one missing from the county side. You got 2 QCC, but there's also KFEX.
KFEX is in there.
Okay.
And
Oh, I see.
then-
Okay, now I see. Okay, what's
And
this?
LaPorte auditor's in there.
Okay,
But
now-
we'll put,
Before you move forward, can I have a motion to approve?
The claims?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the claims. Second.
Okay, discussion, Mr. Holyfield.
Yeah, have you talked with Angie Davis yet from Facilities?
no,
Okay, because we're under the understanding that she's already paid those 3. So before you write checks, talk to her and make sure that she has not.
okay, I just hope that doesn't,
Because that was when I talked to you last week or whatever.
we probably should enter that into the minutes because the claim docket reflects QCC, it doesn't reflect LaPorte County
Yeah.
for that. So we gotta make sure that.
That's why I talked to Guy, and that's why I come talk to you last week. So like I said, if she's already cut the check, then you'll have to reimburse us.
Okay,
So, but she may not have got it cut yet.
I just want the board to know that that needs to be noted, that we might change the name on the claim document.
To the county, yes.
Yeah. So the dollar amount stays the same.
Yeah,
it's just.
because those were not covered under the insurance.
So then, how
I'll find
much
out.
was the insurance check?
It was for 116,000, then they took our deductible off, which was 1,000, so they sent a check for 115,000. And I believe they put that-
$825.70.
Yeah, 115,825.70.
And then with the bills being paid, how much between private business, the county, the city and so forth, how much are we writing unexpected checks for?
What was, the total cost for the site was $206,084.34. I don't have the math in my head, but it's the difference between the 200,000 and,
But all those bills are being paid on this docket?
yes.
So where does the 100,000 difference come from?
We've taken it out of different line items on our budget. Now, I have on the agenda here a request to do maybe additional appropriation as the year proceeds. I might have to be, because we did our budget in July.
Right.
We're gonna have those costs. So if I can squeeze it out, I won't ask for additional appropriation, but if not, then I'm gonna ask for additional appropriation to be added to our budget,
And those funds would come from,
our general fund.
which we have excess of?
Yeah, well, we never have excess, but there's
I mean-
money in there, yes.
Okay. Are we comfortable with that? Any further comments, questions?
No, I just wanna make sure all the vendors get paid and we get reimbursed the county because these vendors have been waiting a long time and
Right, and that's a question I guess I'll have for you. Do you, other than the, QCC, normally we just cut a check, drop it in the mail. Do you want us to just drop checks off at your office and have them come up there and get them, or mail them to the vendors, or how do you want to do that?
Or have them pick up here?
They can pick them up.
pick them up,
here.
have them just pick up here, that way they don't get lost, nothing happens to them. The vendors can come pick the checks up here unless they call you and say they want them mailed.
Okay.
So, but I would imagine since they've been waiting over 90 days, they'll probably come pick the checks up themselves.
We'll reach out to them and see.
That's see, Mike's ready for this now.
How soon could those, by Friday of this week, can they be cut?
I think Kathy can probably cut them tomorrow for you,
Yeah.
Okay.
if we're here, weather
Right.
continues.
And does that include the county and the city?
That includes everybody.
Okay, so we'll add that, do we need to add that to the motion?
No, I can just do that as housekeeping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, further comments?
Do you need a motion to clarify, just for the record, for QCC being paid either to QCC or county, if the county's already reimbursed them?
I don't think we needed a motion.
Okay.
As long as the board understands, that's what I'm
Yeah.
going to do. Okay.
Solid.
Okay. I'll be talking to Angie in the morning, unless you want to call this evening, for the snow removal. I'll clarify with her, and then I'll get with you tomorrow morning.
Sounds like a plan.
And again, just for clarity, you're saying you want to confirm if the county.
Confirm if we paid them yet or not.
Because then those funds would change to
Would-
you,
Yes,
to the
or
county.
reimbursement does that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, and I would like to say thanks to the business owners that
being
all
patient.
went above and beyond to to help us, and Mr. Holyfield and the board, but Steve, I know your focus on making sure they were paid was appreciated.
Yeah, if we ever have a future problem, we want to make sure you guys are happy with us, so we can call on you again.
Year-end claims,
The past chairman did come in and sign those year-end claims. We had forwarded them out to all the board members for their review, and then Don did come in and sign them for us. But
do you
just
need a
needs-
motion?
Just need a motion to accept it into the minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Financial reports through December 31st,
And Kathy did not get.
Which I don't see.
Financial.
which we don't have a copy.
You should all have a copy, but I don't think she printed it out for the board.
Oh, the.
But she might not
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Can I run back and get it?
Yeah, you can get it.
absolutely.
We'll move on.
Can we move forward to the comments from the public, if there are any? From all the businesses saying how thankful they are, how they got their checks. There you go.
Don't know why the county didn't just go ahead and pay those, and then it's better to have one person beat up on me than like 10 people beat up on me.
Director's report, if you want to give an insurance update.
Couple things, I included the letter from the insurance company that shows how they did the payout and the explanation for the payout. But I also invited our insurance provider, which is High Street, and it's Joe Bernanke's here to represent them, because there seemed to be some questions about why the insurance wasn't paying some claims, or why they're not gonna pay for the cleanup. And I'm not sure if Joe can answer all that, but I thought I'd give him the opportunity, because this company's kind of getting a bad rap by hearing that you know, your insurance is not that good, you know, and blah, blah, blah. I think they did us very well. You know, they explained in their letter why it wasn't covered. I don't think we have anything that's different in insurance provision wise. This is a standard insurance that most businesses carry.
Joe, welcome.
Thank you. Yep, happy to be here on behalf of Kathy Henrik. She's out of the office today, so stepping in. So, yeah, to answer part of the question, part of the coverage on the fire department piece, there are internal limits to that. 10,000 was the limit to that policy. That's pretty standard. So obviously that was paid up to that limit in full. And then the two other items that were on there were for KFEX for the portable toilets. That one is not, it's not property to the county, so that is part of the, that's the reason that it wasn't covered under there. So, and then the second one was the cleaning. It was under QCC for the county buildings.
2 buildings, yes, which were infested with smoke
Right.
because of the fire.
Yep.
Thank
So because the fire wasn't a responsibility of the county, it just happened, that extenuating piece is not covered under a regular policy. It's just not a piece to that, to cover somebody else's property that was there.
Now, if my home had a fire
Yeah.
and the neighbor's house was affected, my insurance would cover that. I don't understand what the difference is.
Yeah.
Because
So
we also had court orders with children and community corrections people inside there. We had to take care of them.
to have, yeah. And my suggestion there would be that the other option that you can do is you can always file it under the county's policy.
Under our, okay.
And then they would review it, and if they needed to, they could always subrogate back to the solid waste district policy for additional review. But we did review that with them, and in the letter itself, it actually notates the section of the policy where it's not covered. But I would recommend that as well. It's not gonna hurt anything at the end of the day, so.
Now going through this with the fire, is there, knowing what our expectation is and maybe the concern with our expectation, is there anything we need to look at and change
Yeah,
to our policy, or?
that was actually gonna be one of the pieces that I was gonna ask. With these two items, was there anything additional that you had come up with or thought about that you might want covered? Because my intention is for us to go back and, with Kathy, come back to you guys and just do a complete review.
The board wants to know why we're not being able to cover our cleanup costs.
For the QCC.
No.
For
The
the
fire
actual
site.
site.
If my house burns down, my insurance company's gonna pay to clean that house up.
They're gonna, correct, they would pay to, so you're saying the cleanup of the debris that's at the
Yes.
site? Okay.
And today we went out for proposals. I didn't have a number to give you before, but today we have a number to provide to the insurance company.
Do you?
We will after the board meeting.
Okay, that would be good if you can send that to me, once you guys are done, and then I can, include that, and go back to the carrier with that as well, and look at that too.
Because that seems like that would be normal
Debris cleanup.
under a fire, or,
And
Yeah.
Steve and I did question, our Commissioner Hollifield and I did question the insurance provider, and they pretty much cut us off saying, no, it's not covered.
Okay.
We'd like to do an
Let's
appeal.
it was a-
reinvestigate that.
It was a third-party adjuster, correct?
Right.
Yeah, let's reinvestigate that.
Okay.
because- Especially if you have a dollar amount, because then I can, it's just additional ammo that I can go into. Happy to do that.
further comments? Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Thank Kathy as well.
Yep.
She's always easy and accessible to get a hold of, so we appreciate that.
You're welcome to stay, or you can. Yeah.
Flyer update?
Can we backtrack a minute and do our?
I was just gonna go through the director's report and then we go back.
As you remember, when we were doing all our special meetings about the compost site, we had some changes to our upcoming flyer that started this January. And a couple concerns have already popped up. On our flyer, on number 2 on the front page where it has our hours and stuff, it says no tree stumps for residents or municipalities. Municipalities are bringing in tree stumps to us, so, you know, I don't want you to be surprised, but we're gonna be sending out notices to the different departments saying, we no longer accept tree stumps, you can't bring them in.
Even from the city and the county?
Right.
Okay, as long as we know that up front.
Well, I mean,
But you're gonna accept the rest of our stuff,
up to 32 inches.
up to 32 inches around? Okay.
Yeah. But the county's already been bringing in some stuff, and we'd let them leave it, but, because they're gonna have the same problem that we have. What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do it? You know, our equipment's not big enough to handle it.
Yep.
So, we were stockpiling it, but I can't do that anymore because I don't wanna run into the same problem that we
No,
had.
we can't have that stockpile.
As long as you folks are okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move ahead with our flyer. We raised our landscaping prices to $15, was $7. I'm not adverse to you telling me we don't want landscapers anymore, we just wanna do residential programs. And let the landscapers worry about where they're gonna take it themselves.
So landscapers, but you're not considering companies like Mr. Pavey or something like that?
He's a contractor.
He's a contractor, okay.
And what are landscapers?
Yeah, they contract for a business.
Well, we consider, at least in our terminology of a landscaper, is if you hire somebody to do your yard, you know, not somebody to do 10 acres for you, but somebody to do your yard and bring the grass clippings and the leaf clippings or maybe some branches they've trimmed up.
That's
Those-
different.
They may have 100 customers though.
If they're bringing logs in,
Right, I consider,
that should not be accepted.
when you're cutting down a tree, you know, it's 32 inches or better. Most landscapers aren't cutting down trees that are 32 inches, those are contractors. That's contracting that out.
Right.
You're gonna have a mess just like you got now, guaranteed.
Well, I don't really want to be talking to the audience, but
Less
I know, that's why
less is
I'm
more
less is better.
after
for
what
us.
we've gone through this past year. So
Right.
it seems like we're already getting away from maybe,
Some of our problems. We want to be able to handle
no, we could
everything.
be creating more problems, right?
You won't be creating problems for us, it'd be creating problems for the landscapers and contractors. They gotta figure out where they're gonna take their stuff to. I mean, we've already had a call this year from Lipscomb that's clearing out an acre of property, and they wanna know if they can bring in that clearing to us. It's like, no, we just don't want it.
Unless they give us free electric.
Yeah.
What is the goal of the solid waste district when it was set up? Who was it meant to be?
It's a
For
residential
residents.
program, yes.
It's residential, so treated as such, I would guess.
Yeah. Yep.
And when we were out at Westville, we had plenty of room out there. We could stockpile it, and we had tons of room to windrow everything. So we're just kind of landlocked here, and you want us to windrow things now so we have a better fire break. So we need to reduce what's coming in so we can be able to grind up what we got coming in, windroll it, turn it into compost in, 6 to 18 months, and get it back out.
When you're gonna do this wind rolling, but also when Vince and, who's the other guy? Abraham are unloading these vehicles, people may have to sit and wait till they look at every load. And if it has to be dumped in 2 different spots, it's dumped in 2 different spots. That way we're not pushing all this stuff into one great big giant pile.
Right, and that's on here too, about how we
Okay.
gotta segregate everything.
But if this was meant to be a residential program, from my perspective, and I'll leave, it should only be for residents.
I agree. I think that solved a lot of our problems.
And
Well, and that's what we're looking for, to solve the problems. Clay's out here all the time, and I agree, for the residents and $15, the fee, I don't have any.
But you
I
get to the
don't have
point
any
where-
problem with
I was
that.
under the impression we were gonna eliminate anything that was not residential or county city.
Well, then you get to that tipping point where I'm too old to do my yard, so I'm gonna hire Housfield Landscaping, he's gonna come in and do my yard.
But again, if that landscaper's got 100 or 150 clients, which some of them do, that's an awful lot of volume.
I agree, so how do you determine?
But it's not meant for,
It's not meant for the bigger contractors,
correct.
it's not meant for the bigger landscapers. So I guess we can,
Who's gonna determine the size of the landscaper?
I guess that'd be up to the guys at the site, but they gotta be consistent. If you know this guy's got a lot of customers.
Hey, if we could tell the public this isn't their time to speak, so, thank you though. So anyway, I just don't know why we're gonna get away after what we just went through, if this is set up through statute as a residential program, why would we, I feel like we're already getting away from it.
And we did have at one time, we mandated that landscapers bring the residential person in with them. Like if you're doing your yard, then Mr. Dermody, you have to come in with this guy to say, yeah, here's my address, I live here, this guy's doing my yard.
That's
But like in
interesting.
Tom's case, at his advanced age, though, he might not be able to make the trip.
Yeah. They don't allow me to drive.
You know, there's always that point where, what do you do? You know?
I was a firm believer that we should keep that for a cash flow purpose, but after talking with Clay and other members, if we're gonna say it's a residential, we're gonna have to determine that landscaper, he'll have to build that cost. If he has to take it, there's one in Porter County, I believe, right? Okay, then he's gonna have to build that into his cost to dispose of that, unless he's got a property of his own that he can get rid of it. So, because then that way, Vince and Abraham don't have to sit there and say, well, you know, you brought 2 loads in 2 weeks ago, this is your 3rd load, we think you're too big of a landscaper.
I agree.
So that if we're gonna do that, let's just say no landscapers.
Yeah, I work for you guys. That's what
Okay.
you want, that's
Well,
what we do.
okay, but just so we know, if you, like, to your point, if we could have, Mr. Haney has a landscaper do it, and say Joe's 80 years old, he's not going to bring it on his own. Are we just saying then that landscaper has to find alternative way versus Mr. Haney saying, I'll come with you and you can dump it here? I guess that's my only question.
I guess we can go back to what Commissioner said, you know, we're gonna check the loads as they come in. We're gonna have to say, okay, who you working for? I'm gonna have to call them while you're here. I'll call the number and say, you know, is Haney Landscaping doing your yard? You know, if they say, yeah, then okay.
I don't know.
I
we're
think
getting-
that's complicated.
Just residents,
If they're-
residents only?
If the landscaper's doing work with a weed eater, a lawnmower, or something else, he's not gonna hear his phone, he can't answer it, and then we gotta get load sitting here, what's going to happen? If we're gonna do this, let's just eliminate, period.
I think return it back to where it was supposed to be, resident only program. And, you know, if you know, John Doe winds up hiring a couple guys to clean up his yard and he's got yard waste, he's gonna have to go with them and drop it off in person. As far as calling back or whatever, no, I don't think
So
so.
if the guy's not there in person, we can turn him away. Or we'll
They're
let
in
him,
person
we'll notify as many.
with an ID that lines up with, you know, county residents.
Do we need a motion of clarity?
Yes.
Right, a motion, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, that would be my motion.
What was the motion again?
The motion would be to return the program to resident only.
Okay.
And any residents disposing or bringing out and utilizing the facility, the resident has to show up in person with a valid ID to make the drop off.
Do I have a second?
2 pieces of mail.
I can't do that.
The concern being,
The concern being, if you're gonna have the resident come along with them, the landscaper's already probably charging that resident to start with. We're providing this service for free, and then you're also getting the involvement of the landscaper, okay, I'm gonna bring 100 loads in, I'm gonna have 100 people come ride with me. I think it just, I understand the purpose of your motion, Joe, to help the residents, but again, if they're gonna pay someone to clean their yard, they should be responsible, the landscaper should be responsible how they're gonna dispose of it.
I would say so, but I also look at, you know, some of the elderly folks that, you know, help out over the years, or they hire a couple high school kids or something like that. You know, where does the line go? You know, if the homeowner hires a couple high school kids, you know, because I know I've had some of the kids from the local football teams come out and do some work around the property out at my place before when they have some of their things to raise funds. And, you know, that now where I live, I've got, you know, I live on a small farm. I can, you know, I take care of all the debris from around the house on my own. I don't have to bring it in here. But if I needed to, you know, you got the high school kid with his old beat up pickup truck, gonna drive down the load for, Mr. John Smith, who's 80 years old. You know, he can hop in the truck with him and ride down there. So that's my thought, is that, you know, like for our elderly folks, you know, especially, you know, you don't want to necessarily have them paying more if they don't have to. And again, you know, if we maybe develop some kind of policy that, you know, you can only drop off X number of truckloads, you know, a year for a household or something, to prevent in case, you know, somebody hires, you know, a elderly person to ride along with them and take in stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater to,
I
you know,
think the
on
less
the off chance they
stipulations
may.
you have, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah,
It's going to be less
like-
confusing.
It's either yes or no.
And I agree with what Commissioner Haney's saying, but I think it just causes more problems in the long run.
Mr. Prisbalinski.
Okay, so you have a contractor, he's gonna do one house. Not necessarily is he gonna run out here and dump his load, right? He might wind up doing
4 or 5 low.
4 or 5 houses or a whole day's worth of work, throw it in one trailer. And now, for example, okay, I wanna go and dump it here, or I'm gonna have to charge you to dump it. But if you wanna ride with me, go ahead and ride. I mean, where are these people? Are you gonna follow, are
All of
all
them.
10 people gonna follow the truck out to the dumping place and say, yeah, that's my grass, that's my grass? See what I'm getting at, Joe? I just,
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't see that happening.
So
It's
we
a
can,
gray area.
gentlemen, if we could keep the public from interacting. So I do not have a second. I appreciate what Mr. Haney's saying. So do I have a new motion of clarity that it's just for residents?
I'll make a motion, residents only, landscapers are gonna have to find their own way to get rid of it, just like the contractors. are
Do
gonna
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Additional appropriation.
As you alluded to earlier, we're gonna be in our budget $200,000 short. Because we got the check, but it has to go into our general fund. We can't just put it into line items.
100,000 short.
Basically the 80, the 66 some for
The our two
2CC,
claims.
and then 2,000 for KFlex, another 500 for the auditor's office. It's less than, but the whole charge was 206,000 that we had to pay.
But you
That's
got
a-
insurance for,
Right, that insurance check though went into our general fund.
okay?
So you have to
I can't go
appropriate
to
out
my
of it.
general fund because I already have a budget set. So
But you weren't counting on that general fund money.
Right, I wasn't counting on paying 206,000 in July either.
Right.
So I'm saying sometime before the end of the year, I might have to put money back into my budget from our general fund.
For additional appropriation. We can address that issue when we get to it.
Well, it's made so many new
Doug?
rules, I've got, you know, you gotta advertise,
Yeah.
I think 30 days before, and I gotta get on the county council agenda since they actually approved my budget,
Yeah.
they have to approve the additional appropriation, then we have to go through the, all I wanted today was just you to say, yeah, we can see that that might be coming towards the middle, end of the year, so yeah, start the procedures.
Okay, and then, yeah, and then.
But I also,
I have to bring you a resolution too.
We know what's gonna happen. Doug, how would you think we should handle that? Just wait till it comes and then do it?
Authorize him to proceed with the process. I think that's what you have.
That's all I'm asking
Okay,
for, yeah.
okay, just get
Yeah.
everything paid and we'll go from there, finish
Yeah,
it
you
later.
can't make a final decision until all the advertisements are done and all that.
Yeah.
All the hoops have been jumped through.
do I have a motion?
Motion to proceed.
Second,
I have a motion and a second discussion. We're not short 200,000, we're short roughly 100,000, no, because you've got $200,000 in bills, you've got 100,000 from insurance.
Right, but budget-wise, we're short 206,000.
because you didn't plan on paying that bills.
Okay, I took the money out of this year's budget.
But you have 100,000 that you can put back into there towards that.
If you give me permission to do an additional appropriation, I can take that money out of my general fund and put it back.
Good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. It's only 100-ish.
Would
Really
be
short.
monies that's not
Right,
reimbursed.
that's
yeah.
coming out of the general
Yeah.
fund, be additional,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, what we're gonna do is take it out of one bucket and put it into several smaller
Most
buckets.
buckets.
Right.
And that's what they did now. We took it out of different line items in our 2026 budget. And maybe, you know, knock on wood, that we won't have a breakdown like in our repairs down there, and I won't need that money, so I can ride the year out. If it looks like I'm gonna need it in April, I'll bring you a resolution that authorizes me to do additional appropriation. At that time, I'll have the timeline laid out for you. You know, we don't need it now, but towards the middle to the end of the year, we're probably gonna need those to move.
And just for my clarity, and it doesn't have to be right now, but the total cost of the fire, that bills that we're paying minus the or the bill, or the check we received for insurance.
If you want me to do the math real quick, I
It
can.
looked like 202 was the line item cost, and then 115 was what we got from insurance, right? Memory serves.
206,000,
okay.
And change, yeah.
$84. And we received a check for $115,825.
Perfect. So we do have a motion and a second. Further comments?
Just so you know though, when I do the additional appropriation, you'll see the whole, maybe the whole 200,000. It'll be that $115,000 check being redeposited in the budget and then additional monies.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now if we can go back, Clayton, if you might be willing to introduce our new team member.
Oh, our new controller's here, Kathy Seitz. She's taken over for Len, who did us an excellent job in the 9 years she was here. Hope Kathy sticks around that long with us, and she's picking up the programs and everything pretty quickly, so I don't think we'll have much problem.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome, Kathy.
And if I may say, you know, you get away, and then they pull you back in. Lynn is now working part-time at the city of LaPorte for the fire department doing accounting. So you get away and
No,
we
about
pull you
that.
back in,
How
so,
about that?
part-time. But Kathy, welcome.
Thank you.
We can go back to our financial statement. What I always point out to the board is in the yellow on top there, and it says our new cash balance is $2,171,120.05. That's after we paid the December claims. So we received 1.5 million for our December disbursements, and that's included in that 2.1. So that has sufficient funds to get us through till June when we get our May distribution.
Good.
We'll need a motion in a second to approve that.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Old business, protest letter.
We received a letter from Homer Excavating. I'm not really sure why they were protesting something that they should have that in their packet. That hasn't been decided yet. If they heard something on the street, I can't verify any of that, but there's been no decision made on who is going to get our RFP. There's been no decision made on who qualified, who didn't qualify. We just did our due diligence to bring it back to you today, present it to you. They sent this letter for the record. I will enter it into the record just so we know that it's there.
Okay, I don't see the letter yet, but,
There's no heading on it, it's just
Not a
a,
heading, it's just.
oh,
It'll be second or third page from the bottom.
what are they protesting?
I think their protest about the potentially of accepting Davies, because they were the lowest bid and it was incomplete.
right.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember seeing that.
So, I guess that this, do we need to just accept that?
Just put it in the record, that's it.
Do I have a motion to prove that we accept the
We
letter?
accept that letter in the record.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. RFP compost site.
That's what we're going to do. We received those proposals early this year. We went through them, provided you with an update on what was all in them. And it appears as though, and you should have a cover letter in there, out of the 5 that we received, it appears that 3 met our requirements. Davy Tree Service was incomplete and Duneland was incomplete. So those 2 will not even be considering at this time. The third one that we're not gonna be considering is E&L Paving. They were the highest, I mean, they were one of the most responsive, but they were the highest bidder. So it brings us down to our 2 lowest bidders.
And we're not accepting that because,
It's quite a bit over the actual lowest.
600,000 over
That's the highest.
Hades, yeah.
So the 2 on the table right now is Homer Tree Service, and they've met the requirements, and they're at $365,000. And Pavey Excavating met the requirements, and they're at $844,000.
So I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
From what I recall, and this is a couple months now, Pavy's was an all-in price for hauling, removal, everything, if I remember correctly. Homer, though, I think that 365 might be base. I don't think that included haul away, did it?
It included haul away of the ground product. They don't want any of the concrete or the dirt items that's out there. And in my mind, we could probably use the dirt item that's out there. So as long as they grind up and take all that product off site, we'll do something with what's left.
so to Mr. Haney's point, you're saying
Well,
Should Pavey rebid that as the same?
perhaps, again, we don't have these two in front of us here, but Clay, you're saying that the only technical difference between the two bids, other than obviously the price, is that Pavey was hauling away everything, including the dirt and, any of the extra dirt that was part of that or whatever. Homer's only hauling away the ground tree product, how much material would that leave left on the ground then?
It depends on what they pull out of the pit there when they start pulling the logs and stuff out. Like I said, the dirt items or the composted stuff that's pretty much matured, I think we have a use for it.
Even though it's got burned odor to it? Even though it's got a burnt odor to it?
Yeah.
Okay, because my concern is, and we talked about this before, you were thinking about just leveling it all off. That stuff's not gonna compact, so then it's gonna cause a bigger problem for Vince and Abraham. Plus, people are not gonna be able to drive over the top of that. They're gonna get stuck when they have a little bit of rain. And then they're not gonna be able to, if they have to shove a pile up of logs or material or something, it's gonna be a hard time when you have softness in there. It's gonna be hard to push it up.
Well, hopefully they're never gonna do that. It's gonna be a windrow area up on top there. All the residents are gonna be working down in the lower area where we're at now. And that's where we're gonna do our work at, and then we'll be the ones bringing it up.
Carrying it up to the top.
That makes sense.
My thought is, I wanna see what that stuff is when they're all done, We'll try to market it as fill, dirty fill. If somebody wants to put it in a hole, just
But it
because
won't
it's a hole.
compact.
But a lot of people have stuff that they just wanna fill in, they don't wanna build a building on it. We don't wanna build a building on it. We can drive a payloader across that, no matter how bouncy it is. We're gonna use some of it for burn material, so it's just, we've got a use for it. It just seems pretty unreasonable to spend another $500,000 for something that we could possibly use on site there or manage ourselves on site there. Let's get the area cleaned up, get the surface cleared off, and let's see what's out there then.
And you're sure going through the two proposals from both of them, that's the only difference?
From what I can tell, yes. And we sat down, Robin and I went through them, Robin and I went through them, and then we invited the attorney in, and the attorney, Robin and I went through them, so all three of us.
But it's two different bids.
Right, yeah, I just
No.
want to make sure I just want to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples here and that we bid apples to apples. Because I know one or two of the other ones that we eliminated had some different, weren't exactly, even though they were incomplete, they weren't exactly apples to apples. And that's what I want to make sure we're looking at, to make sure that there's.
Because I thought Mr.
We're on the same level.
Hollifield wanted everything cleaned up.
And again.
And that was the goal.
The goal, because then we start with a clean slate, a solid compacted area. And then we don't have to worry about, because if you go out there and they rut that up, and then all of a sudden towards fall, we have freezing weather, then you're gonna be beating the hell out of each other going across those ruts.
Yeah,
And because you do take materials in the wintertime, correct?
yeah, we still
Okay.
are bringing stuff in
Yeah.
today.
So I have an issue with that, because could we look at it this way, Doug? Get it cleaned up and then see what we got left and then possibly bid it again for cleanup?
Yeah, I'd recommend that. Because
Okay.
we don't know what we're gonna have
What's
left
left
yet.
over, okay. Because
So why spend money on what we don't,
because it's
we
gonna
don't
be
know what's
mushy.
there?
Agreed.
It's gonna be mushy, it's burned up material, and if we can if there's a home for it, God bless somebody. But I think you're gonna have a hard time getting rid of that with that smell. Because I know if I was gonna buy mulch around my house, I wouldn't want that burnt smell.
But then to Mr. Haney's point, we may not be comparing apples to
The
apples
same two bids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
between Homer and Pavey.
yeah.
So I got a question. So when the RFP went out to all these companies and Dunlin, let's see, who's the other guy, Homer?
Davey,
Yeah, no, Dunlin's at 900,000.
okay,
Yeah,
but incomplete.
yeah, that's right, incomplete. Homer and Page, that's it, okay. So they both had the same RFP requests and the same information, but then Pavey threw in extra work that they thought should be done, and that's why it's $500,000 difference?
No, I think they responded to, because we had put out that we wanted everything cleaned up.
They were gonna
That's what
remove
they
it all.
responded to.
Right.
Was removing everything.
Yeah, Mr. Haney's correct.
Okay, and then Homer, then what did Homer just respond back to?
Grind
what?
up grind up all the large items that's out there.
Yeah.
And all the sticks and branches and then haul that off-site,
But not the same.
not the dirt or the concrete.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
So does it make sense to maybe, I don't know if this is feasible, to have Mr. Turner meet with each of the companies, Homer and Pavey, and get clarity on the bid and get it to an even point and bring it back to the next meeting?
We can do it. We can do it that way.
Yeah,
Is that,
Yeah, we know exactly which one's
is
gonna
that
do what.
fair?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that way at least they're on the same level of the work that's gonna be done, because
The only thing is they both know the prices they're trying to look at. So I can come back and say, okay, I can do that for $364,000 now.
well, if there's,
Well, his-
Homer bid out for less.
Well, I'd say
less
the
work
the
than
numbers,
the-
the numbers are fixed. I
But all
think
you-
we gotta
yeah.
clarify what scope of work is,
Services,
you know?
Okay, I mean, I think it's.
which I
pretty
think they
clear.
did.
I think it's pretty clear, yeah.
I mean, because the
Homer's
way-
not gonna haul and.
They're not gonna haul, and
Pavey's
Pavey was
haul.
gonna take everything away with them, and get rid of all of it.
I think that's.
So there's the
And our
difference.
confirmation is we want it hauled.
We want it all.
That's what the original bid, you know,
Yeah,
that's what we
to
originally went out
remove-
for.
I'm
remove
just
it all.
trying to look
Clean the
at dollar
entire site.
cost. 844,000 is a lot of money for our district.
It is, I 100% agree, I just wanna make sure that
That's part of why we carry insurance.
that it's fair that, you know, we had the one company that came in and that bid everything like we asked, and then we had the other company that came in and like, all right, well, we're just gonna take this certain organic material that we're gonna be able to resell and deal with, whatever, and then leave with the rest. And you know, and depending on how much they decide to take out, like, I know for myself and having some work done at my property, and I brought in a bunch of material, I brought in like 91 trucks worth of fill. This was back 12 years ago, whatever it was. The material that I got was, almost all of it was free. But the trucking costs were then, and of course, trucking costs have just gone up like mad, you know, in the past, you know, 12 years, whatever it was. But, you know, just for those 91 loads, it was, I think it cost me close to 10 grand, but plus the dozer, whatever, other stuff. But still, that's a lot of,
Right, and
that's a lot of truckloads of stuff to get out of here, so.
We've
you know,
had
if
that
you're-
offer, somebody would take all this stuff from us. They said they'll take it today, except that we have to pay for the hauling. And I
I don't know how it could be, that's the main flow.
and I passed that on to Commissioner Hollifield. I think you even reached out to Mr. Watson, didn't you?
Yeah, the freight's the killer.
Right, that's why I didn't want to do it. I said, no, if you want it, you can come get it. I'll give it to you and I'll load it for you, but
The other point could be, our expectation, not to put Joe on the spot, but our expectation is insurance should be paying.
Should covered it.
Yeah,
And so it'll give you a chance to meet with, and aren't you glad you came today, Joe? But it'll be glad you can have a chance to meet with the insurance at that time, as well, get clarity on the bids, and then come back to us, and, you know, we should have a different financial picture.
I agree.
We have to have this ready to go by spring though, this facility.
I
Back in
disagree.
full swing. Why is that?
We're operating now. We've operated since September.
But are we
On the lower
interfering?
level.
Are we interfering with everything though?
What are you interfering?
What are you gonna do when the low level gets full and we haven't got the top level done?
We're gonna windrow on the top there,
What if it's not cleaned up and done?
but we're gonna windrow in the areas that we have. We'll have probably half as much product, or probably even a third less product coming in, so we'll have more room to actually
Yeah.
stockpile and grind up this product that we
Yeah.
have.
So do we need to have a special meeting then after you do your
I
due
think so.
diligence?
If you don't wanna wait till April, you need to have a meeting.
We should,
I know,
because we
we
can't
should.
wait. We can't
We'll
wait.
have a meeting, have a special meeting.
In February,
Yeah,
yeah.
give you like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
One thing, Clay, I would like to see you drill down on with Homer is, and Doug as well, if you're gonna be part of this, make sure that we look at exactly what they're determining for what they're gonna haul off, what does and doesn't qualify as the material they're gonna take, like down to what size of branches are they gonna leave stuff laying around versus what they're gonna leave, right? 'Cause, I mean, it's, you know, what is gonna qualify as their dirt versus extra ground up mulch that they're laying or even laying around or whatever else. That's my concern, is that they're gonna be coming in and cherry picking the best product that they can take and then leave the rest of it as dirt or, you know, non-organic material or whatever else they're gonna call it.
So I hate to ask, but may I add that either Mr. Haney or Mr. Hollifield be willing to sit in on the meetings representing the board? Those like,
I would.
I wouldn't mind if you want to do it. I'm fine
Yeah, I'll
with
do it
that.
if you don't, I'll tell you what, one of us will make time to
Yeah,
do
one
it.
of us will do it. We'll depend on
A
who's
representative
free
of
that
the
day.
board.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, happy to sit in.
So do I have a motion to evaluate Homer and Pavey to have clarity on the bid?
I'll make
as
that
well as
motion.
on insurance?
I'll make that motion. Yeah,
and
because
that a
we
board
might have
member
more
will be
cleanup money.
represented.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. New business, CAC appointments.
As you might remember at our December meeting, we reminded everybody we had 4 appointments that was due, 4 positions that was due for reappointment. 3 of the 4 have complied that they'd like to be reappointed for a 2-year term.
Okay.
And those 3 people are Jody Dusek, Amber Seller, and Samantha Joel. We didn't hear back from Jim Michaels. We've reached out to him a couple different times. They never responded back, so that would be the position that's open.
Has anybody inquired about it? Like when we do the positions on the county part and everything, we have people apply for them.
Yeah, I remember on the county side, as well as the gentleman who showed up here, Robert.
Bob Geralt. Robert
Geralt?
Geralt, yeah.
Geralt. I know there's him. Was there anyone else?
That song Solid
That's
Waste
the
Board,
only
I do
one I
not
can
remember. I don't believe there was.
We put out a flyer, but we also asked you folks if you had anybody that was on your list you wanted to send to us.
Yeah, Robert was the only one that
So
specified.
who has not responded?
I don't think.
Jim Michaels.
Jim Michaels.
I
Are
don't
there,
think
hey,
Mr.
Clay?
Garland's responded. I think the mayor kinda,
no,
He sent us, he sent
He
the.
did.
He sent
Oh,
it
to
the
you
board
guys?
commission.
to us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, it's,
and he was gonna be here today, but he said he's got other issues he's
Yeah.
working on. so-
Mr.
another question I have before we start making appointments, Doug. We know we got this in the plan commission last year. Are there any requirements that they have to be Ds, Rs, territories, districts, anything like that?
Do I have a
It could be
motion to
anybody from
approve
the county.
Mr. Garalt?
CAC's wide open.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve
Mr.
Mr.
Haney?
Geralt.
Second for Mr. Geralt's.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now,
Opposed?
Clay, I do have a question. So with Michaels, is he on here? Because he works for the sanitary district in Michigan City. So is that why he was appointed to this board?
No, he just had an interest and he did have a good position, so he thought that he'd be a good fit for our board.
Oh, okay.
And at one time, when we had the landfill, you had to have people with certain job
Degree or whatever.
specifications to serve on the landfill committee.
Okay.
We don't have that anymore.
All right, well, I guess you say you reached out to him, right? He never responded back? I'll call him and I'll get back to you to see if he's interested in it.
Well,
Is that
We
okay?
just filled
I
that
think we
position.
just
Or
filled.
just fill it?
Yeah.
Is that
But
what
let
the
me
guy
ask
said?
you, are there anybody else that does not attend? You might as well get clarity on individuals that do not attend.
Jim Michaels hasn't came for a couple years.
There you go.
That's
That's
the
simple.
answer there.
Yeah.
We have that on the NERC right now.
Anybody else?
Any of those other 3 that's on your list?
No, none of those. They have pretty much almost like
Okay.
perfect attendance.
Okay.
We have a lot of really great people right now on our CAC.
Okay.
Good.
Do we,
Good.
do we need a motion to reappoint the other 3, the Joels, Sealer, and Deuce?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any board comments?
Well, I will contact Mr. Michaels and tell him that he's no longer on the board.
Okay, I'll get hold of Robert Garrett, tell him he is. A question on the firewood end of this. Okay, we're paying somebody hourly to go out there, cut the wood, to split it and everything else.
We were paying one of the highway guys to work on a weekend to do that.
Okay.
It's a lot more, but we have our guys working on the winter. when
Do
they're
we,
slow.
do we have a demand for that wood?
Yeah. it's just
Okay,
pretty much it.
because something else that I've looked into on mine, you're limited by the diameter, but since we already put a limit on there, a firewood processor. You can rent them occasionally for like, I think you get 16 hours for a certain amount, so that'd be 2 days. And that way you can split a heck of a lot of wood. You got the payloader to put the logs in there, it cuts them to length, splits them, puts them in a pile. And you get a lot more done in a day than a guy doing it. So that might be something to look into.
Okay. I've got a note on my desk about that, because you and I talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that before, because I mean, if we're gonna turn this into where it's gonna get us, start making us a little bit of money, I think there's a demand for firewood.
Yeah.
Especially at $75 pickup truck.
Especially this time of
Heck, I
year.
might come pick it up. It's cheaper than I can split it for.
Will you be updating as well this then to reflect the board's?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have an motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Please stick around and sign your paperwork, please.